everyone, it's Jackie and Honey the Story Dog here. Honey is wearing a very special costume today. What do you think our story today could be about? Gives you a bit of a hint. We're going to read a story about a special day that's happening in Australia this week, and that's Anzac Day. It's a very special day that lots of Australians come together to celebrate. So we're going to read you a book called My Grandad Marches on Anzac Day. The first page is a little bit about Anzac Day, so we'll read that first and then we'll get into the story. This story is called My Grandad Marches on Anzac Day. Honey's nose is in the way. And it's written by Catriona Hoy and Benjamin Johnson. There's the Grandad and his little granddaughter. He's wearing lots of medals, isn't he? Anzac Day is a special time to remember people who have died in wars. It is commemorated in towns and cities around Australia and New Zealand on 25th of April every year. The word Anzac stands for Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. On Anzac Day, people gather in the dark before dawn at their local war memorial. When the sun starts to rise, the dawn service begins. They say prayers and sing hymns, and there is a reading of the fourth verse of a poem called For the Fallen. Later in the morning, other community groups join the war veterans and they parade down the street. The war veterans wear the medals they received for being brave in dangerous times. They all march to the war memorial and lay down wreaths of flowers. Between 1914 and 1918, many countries were at war. This is now called World War I, and it is when the Anzac tradition began. Gallipoli is a famous place in Turkey, where Anzac troops landed on 25th of April 1915, and many of them died. Every year, thousands of Australians travel to Gallipoli to attend the dawn service there on Anzac Day. They are joined by many people from other countries, including New Zealand and Turkey, to remember the people who died in the war. There have been other wars since the World War I. There are very few granddads left from that war, but there are granddads and grandmas, mums and dads, and aunts and uncles who served in other wars, and they all march together on Anzac Day. The ode is the part of the poem that they read out, and it goes, "They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them." Okay, now let's read the story. My Grandad Marches on Anzac Day by Catriona Hoy and Benjamin Johnson. There's Grandad wearing his special medals for bravery. He must have been very brave. He's got lots of medals. On Anzac morning, we get up very early. It is still dark. See the moon outside? We drive in the dark and park the car. We put on our coats. It is always cold. They look cold, don't they? Rubbing their hands together. We wait at the memorial for the sun to come up. There are sad poems and singing. We say, lest we forget. A bugle plays a lonely song. Then guns fire at the sky. Once, twice, 3 times. It makes me jump and scares the seagulls. There's the guns. Later, we have cake and hot chocolate to warm us up. We find our spots for the parade. Daddy gives me a badge, just like his. See the Anzac Day badge? I sit on Daddy's shoulders. It's a very long wait, but my Grandad will come. My Grandad marches on Anzac Day. All the people waiting to see the parade. He wears his best jacket and has shiny medals on his chest. He doesn't have much hair on his head, but he does have a big moustache. Yes. Grandad knows where we will be waiting. He always smiles at me. Lots of people are marching, their legs all moving in time. Some of them play music. I feel their drums boom in my chest. Grandad marches with his friends. He remembers when they were young. He remembers when he was young. He marches for all his friends who can't march. He marches for us. Some people can't walk. Some are pushed in wheelchairs. Some ride in cars. We clap and wave as they go past. "Well done, boys," my dad calls out. They smile shyly and look pleased. Once, long ago, there was a war, my daddy says. Many soldiers fought and died in a place called Gallipoli. Some were from Australia, some were from New Zealand. They were called Anzacs. They died in places with names like the Neck, Lone Pine and Anzac Cove. Their mums and dads waited, but they never came home. My Grandad marches to remember them. All their photos. My Grandad wasn't there. My Grandad was in a different war. That's where he earned his medals. After the parade, my daddy says, "I'm proud of you, mate," to Grandad. He has tears in his eyes. Grandad is quiet. He is still remembering. One day I will march on Anzac Day and I will do the remembering. Here they are. Grandad and his son and his granddaughter, all on their way home from Anzac Day. We hope you liked that story. It's a very special story for all Australians to celebrate Anzac Day. Maybe you'd like to share that video with your grandparents or parents on Anzac Day, which is the 25th of April. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.